Lee, thank you so much for joining me. Do you know, when I watched that, I just gave you a round of applause and I couldn't stop rewatching that clip again and again and again. I mean, seriously, do you think that the mainstream media has been balanced in its coverage of Partygate and Boris Johnson?
Well, no, it's not, Nana, and I think, to be honest, I mean, I always like to, speak in plain English. I think they've been quite vile towards Boris. I mean, that's okay. I mean, Boris and people like me will have our haters, but it shouldn't be the media. It's the media's job to report the facts and let people make their own mind up. But what the media are doing, and what they've done for the last 2 or 3 years, is try and make people's minds up for them by just pushing out this nonsense day in, day out. When you talk about Partygate, this goes further back than that. It goes back to Brexit. Now, they hate Brexit. They hate the fact that we've got an 80-seat majority. They hate Boris. They hate people like me. They hate our culture. They hate our traditions. They hate our way of life. They hate everything that's British at the moment. That's how it appears to me. I mean, look, especially the BBC. They used to be like anti-Beeb back in the 70s and 80s, and now they're just anti-Boris, anti-government, an anti-conservative party. So, yes, they have been vile. Yes, they have been unfair. And it's about time that more people, more MPs, more politicians stood up and gave them a dose of their own medicine.
Because I'm wondering, what happened after that clip? Did they pretty much cut you off pretty sharpish and just, because they're not going to ask you any more questions there, would they?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, because even when I do have battles with journalists and reporters, I like to do live TV, Danny, so they don't mess about with the clips, and because they buggers for that. LBC and BBC have done that to me before. So what I did after the clip was done, because it was live, I said, thank you, well done. And you know what? They didn't want to know. They just turned their backs on me. And I thought, well, you know what? That must be 1-0 to Lee Anderson.
Well, it definitely wasn't. Apologies for any of the swearing there. I mean, some people don't like swearing, but I totally understand your passion on that. I see that, and because I heard the way she questioned you. The question was a leading question, which obviously placed Boris in a scenario, and immediately she was expecting you to respond. And if you responded that way, you're almost in agreement with them, and you're answering on the back foot. My thoughts are, having heard it, do you think that if organisations like the BBC know that you're going to respond like that, they will shy away from asking you the questions? Because that's what they will then seem to have a lot of control.
Yeah, I think you're right, Nana. It's got your politics and it's got your journalism, should I say. They ask a leading question, they're looking for a quick yes-no answer. Back in the day when interviewers used to do a good job to our media, they would ask a politician a question, give them 30 seconds, a minute to answer, then ask another question. But the mainstream media now, especially the BBC, they ask you a question and then interrupt almost immediately to try and trip you up. And that's not on. The viewers don't want to listen to that. They want answers from politicians. And, the lady on Monday never gave me a chance really to answer, but she was trying to talk over me. And I knew that was coming. I thought, you know what, this is my time to have a go back at the BBC. And I bet they don't ask me back on many more live programmes because they'll be getting the same again.
Well, that's the thing. But then, does that not give them a lot of power? Because if they then don't ask you back, they can just choose people who will say the nice things that they want to say and cut them off whenever they see fit. And that, when I think about that, I think of the danger of actually a state broadcaster. Because whilst I respect the BBC and I've had very good training from them, what I realise is the amount of power that they actually have.
Oh, but the good news is, Nana, we have up-and-coming media stations like the great GBNews that put out balanced opinions, and they give politicians of all parties a fair crack of the whip. And you know what? And I'm part of the campaign at work to defund the BBC. I want to see it stand on its own 2 feet, let people make their own minds up whether they pay for that rubbish. I don't pay for my TV licence. I don't watch the rubbish. I will go on freely and put my point across so millions of people out there can understand what people like me from the real world actually think. But you know what, like I said, the news, the media channels now run your phone, they're instant. We can pick and choose who we go to for our information, and at the moment people are picking GB News.